Before we start, just understand this is not a signal service. Everything you see here is for educational purposes only. Trading involves risk, and the goal here is not to follow trades, it's to learn the process behind them.
Good morning, and welcome to I'm the Trader Capital. As always, let's bow our heads for a quick prayer. First and foremost, all glory to the Most High God, our Heavenly Father. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for another opportunity to try again and learn and grow in these markets. Father, we ask that your will be done today as it is in heaven. Father, I ask that you give us the heart of a giver and make us a lover of our neighbor. Please let me not lead anyone that listens to me astray, but use me as a vessel to bring your children back unto you. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Let's get into it. As always, before we get into the charts, I just want to say a little bit of my story. All right. There was a time I used to sit down in the charts with no real plan, jumping between strategies, second guessing every entry, and honestly just hoping the trade would work out. And that's where most traders are. Not because they're not capable, but because they don't have a structured process. The biggest pitfalls that causes traders to fail is that they have no knowledge on money, they don't know how to lose, they don't know how the markets operate, and they don't have a winning model. 90% of traders fail, or 90% are plagued with one or more of these pitfalls. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 pillars that every trader must have in their trading to survive and thrive in the financial markets, so you can join the 10% who succeed and fast track your way to the top 1% of the wealthiest people on this planet. It's called the 10% to 1% club. Let's go. But before we dive deep into the 3 core pillars, when you step into this arena, in this battlefield, you must first have 2 crucial realizations. Realization number 1, trading is war. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is the hardest thing that you'll ever do in your life. 2, all traders are money managers. As a trader, your ability to manage money is vital to your survival in this industry and in life as we know it. Most traders think success in the markets comes from finding the perfect strategy or catching the biggest moves. But the reality is, success in trading is built on 3 core pillars. 1 is money and mindset. This is the foundation of success. Then we have risk management, the holy grail of trading. This is what will keep you in the game long after everybody else has quit. And then we have trading edge. This is where everyone starts. I know this because this is where I started. And that's why in today's session, we're going to hone in on your trading edge. Yikes, still getting used to this. Now, everything we do here is built around one thing, and that's confidence in your trading edge. And that confidence comes from 3 things. 1, understanding the market and how it actually operates. Not what social media says, but how money truly moves. 2, having one trading model, and one model with IPTA signatures that you can trust and execute consistently, which is what I do here in this stream. 3, having a plan and process, because without a process, you're just reacting to price action. And this right here, this session, this is where we focus on the 3rd piece, the process part. I'm not here to force trades. I'm here to execute my plan step by step in real time. All right, let's get into the trading floor. A little bit different adjustment here just so we can see what the charts are saying much cleaner and much better. Let me know how this is compared to what we had it before. All right, as you're watching, don't just look for entries, pay attention to the process, because this is what gets you into the 10% of traders who succeed. And if you want to go further to join the 1%, that's where we break down all 3 pillars inside the program. I used to think winning trades build confidence, but it's not the wins. It's knowing exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, why you're doing it, before, during, and after the trades. And that's what we're building here. All right, our weekly target going to this week is 3%. All right, as always, Mental check-in, feeling generally okay. All right, excited to see what price action has in store for us today. Excited to continue to grow, all right, and get 1% better in these markets, in these charts. We acknowledge risk, all right. I accept any risk that comes with trading today. I understand that trading comes with real risk and that losing is part of the battle. News is Wednesday, April 8th. All right, we have high impact news coming out at 10:30, and we have FOMC this afternoon. All right, so price action might not be that great this morning just because we have FOMC in the PM session. All right, PM session might see a better price action, but either way, we're here. All right, let's see what price has in store for us today. Our weekly program going to this week was a sell program. However, I do believe we took Monday's range high yesterday as well overnight. A lot went down in the market overnight. It went down. I'll also be adjusting the colors actually of these just to see if it makes a difference. Yeah, market is reaching for 20-day high right now. 15-minute will be much better. Yeah, as you can see, yesterday we took Monday range low, all right, which confirmed our weekly program as sells. And then overnight we came and we took Monday range high, all right, flipping our bias from sells for the week to buy program for the week. All right, so we're in a buy program going into this week. PM session, all right, I caught this nice continuation setup, which I was anticipating, all right, to come and take the lows that were created in the morning, but obviously the market had other plans. However, it did give me it allowed me 3 contracts, all right, and it did give me my 3 partials and a little bit more actually before turning around and shooting all the way to the moon. This was the business from the PM session on DJ. You can watch that on YouTube. I'm the trader. No capital in there. No capital in there. Anyway, it was a continuation sell. All right. Remember, we took daily range sell side, so I was anticipating a retracement to then continue lower. All right. That's always what I anticipate. We came up into a key liquidity. All right. It was a lunch session buy side. All right, swing high, displacement, market structure shift back below that key liquidity. All right, right at that market structure shift, that was my entry. All right, tagged me in up here, and as you can see, it partialed -1. It allowed me 3 contracts, partialed -1 here. Now, all right, before I wasn't doing this, but moving forward, I will be doing this. I will be partialing at 1.5 as well, even on continuation setups, because I was really leaving 1.5 for just retracement, but with the current climate of the market condition right now, I'm just gonna partial as the market gives it to me and not try to ask too much of it, because it's a bit hectic right now. There's a lot of manipulation going on in the market, so I'm gonna take profits when it gives it to me. But anyway, as you can see, partial at -2, and then final terminus was taken off at 2.5 there. All right, solid stuff there, and then it actually went to -4, and then it flipped. At that time, I probably would have been way at break. Yeah, at -3, I go to break even. So either way, would have been a profitable trade there. But we digress. That was just PM session. Just wanted to point that out to you guys that I did actually take a trade in the PM session. Let's get into today. Don't need this, so let's make that smaller so we can focus on these 2 bad boys. We have about 4 minutes until 9:30 kickoff. Enough time to do our process. I hope this is a little bit better. I don't know, is it still looking blobby? Let me see. I will be changing my canvas, all right, just so we can get a better, if let's see if it helps, right, if changing the canvas helps. But that's what I'll be doing. All right, step one, all right, identify dealing range condition. All right, we have to determine our condition for the week, for the session, all right, which means what bias are we going into the session with. And in order to determine the condition, all right, first we identify our dealing range. All right, from 12 a.m. to current price action, we know lowest low to highest high. And just like that, we've identified our dealing range. All right, next thing we want to do is above and below dealing range, we want to note key liquidity. That could be potential draws on liquidity. All right, so above dealing range, I have to squint this to see what's on the other side. Above it, this has already been taken. We want above. No. So above dealing range, okay, we have 20-day high. That's the only liquidity above dealing range. All right, and then above that we have these two session highs. If I can get to them. Let's make sure that that one wasn't grabbed already though. Let's make sure it's a fresh liquidity. Yep, it's fresh. It's fresh. Trust but verify, you know? Trust but verify. We in April. God damn. All right, we got a buy side below dealing range. Below dealing range, we have Asia sell side. And below that, what is this? Oh, these are like when I used to use the long thing. Can get rid of those. Oof. Below that, we got lunch low all the way down here. Not gonna draw it out because it's just ridiculously low. If we get there, then I'll do it, but I'm not doing that. Ding 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 ding. 9:30 kickoff. 9:30 kickoff. Let's go. Opening range gap is below price, so we gapped up. So we have a premium gap up. It's a huge gap up, obviously, because it's been going up. Missed us at dealing range high there. I hope that when I change the colors and stuff, it helps, you know. Wartime trading. Oof. I'm not gonna try to do too much in these market environments, you know. Internal liquidity we do have. London low inside of the range. I only like fresh liquidity, really and truly. virgin liquidities. See price's willingness to get to consequent encroachment of open range gap, which, whew, I don't even know where it is. I don't even know where it is. It's all the way down here. God damn. Ooh-wee. How's the charts looking? How's the charts looking? Oh yeah, I hit the record. uh, yeah, I definitely hit that. I definitely hit that record button today. Alright, we've got our first presented fair value gap on the 1 minute. Alright, let's see how price uses it to gravitate towards consequent encroachment of the opening range gap. Or actually first, before we get there, alright, to dealing range sell side. Maybe once I adjust the colors, it will make, you know, a bit of a difference. You know what I'm missing here? Two five seven two five, 25725. One oh two seven five, right in line, right where midnight opening prices. 10275. It's still not as clear as I want it to be, but I guess I'm just gonna have to take it for now. The black is fine. I think it's the white. It's the white for sure. Um, this body needs to be black. Now they're all black. No. Let's see what they see with this color. Oh, borders. How is that? How is that? How is that? How is that? Do we like that? With this glasses on, I can't really tell, to be honest. So you gotta let me know if we like it. With these glasses on, they both look black to me, to be honest. I can kind of see the blue a little bit. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Blue not bright enough. Yeah, but that is the only blue we got. That is the brightest blue we'll get. You can only go dark. Let's try some colors in it. What about this orange? Pink? Pink, she said pink. How's that? Or this lilac pink, or this pink. In between this one is good. And I can see it with these glasses on, so yeah, let's do it then. All right, see me more. I guess let's do it. Let's do it. It is what it is. Apply to all. Okay, it does. I'm seeing it look much better on there, a little bit better than what we had going on before. So we're about to smash dealing range sell side. This is gonna get some getting used to here, but it is what it is. It definitely looks much better than it did before. So yeah. I will need to brighten up some stuff on here though. Oh yeah, bueno, bueno. Sí, sí, señor. All right, taking dealing range, sell side. Condition is confirmed as sales. We're in a sell program going to this session. before we get into sales, all right, we have to see a retracement setup confirm. And for that to happen, this is the buy side that needs to go currently. Drawn liquidity would now be Asia's sell side. A big magnet drawing price down here. The power's in the magnet, you know. I'm just talking my. I never knew life would take me to this color scheme, but here we are. Here we are. Just never know where life's gonna take you. Now I'll go pink on my chart. Still under the weather, so sorry, bear with me. Be nice to me. I'm sick. Let me see the gray background though. Gray background or white background? Leave it white for now. Yeah. All right, this is now the high. I would be interested here if we smash that. Yeah, can't ask too much, right? Because we have a premium array here that we could potentially frame a continuation setup on, which is London low, to continue going lower. And actually, I won't be interested in this high, because this high doesn't take a low. At the 30s, I require the high to take a low, and the high doesn't take a low currently. So it's still this high that needs to go for me. So after careful evaluation, after looking at the VAR, this will not be a viable entry for me. After careful review of the VAR, all right, this swing high doesn't make the cut for an entry. There's no lows here that doesn't take a low. If price action is a bit muddy today, all right, that's because we have FOMC this afternoon at 2 p.m. We're still gonna watch it though, all right? We're still gonna watch it. We're gonna pay attention to it. Not something that I would personally be pulling the trigger on, okay? But still worth a watch. And up here, it probably won't even give me enough one contract. Made it jagged down here. We have relatively cool highs up here. Giving us one contract. I will engage. I'll also be paying attention to right here as well. If we get a bearish market structure shift for the continuation. That would be an entry getting tagged in that on that one. But that one is not for me personally. Okay, doesn't mean it can't be for you. I'll be waiting for up here. And accepting the risk that comes with entering up there. Negative ones right here, so 4,850. So the reason why this swing high was not a swing high or this swing high, a swing high that I would engage in, is because for the 30s, right, post 30s, I require a breaker entry. Okay, because I require more from the market just because it's a 30. It's not as prominent or highly probable as a macro time frame. Macro time frame, I'll take a breaker, I'll take a mitigation. But for the 30s, I do require this swing high to have taken a low, and this one doesn't take a low. This swing high takes this low right here. It also takes this low right here. So it's a viable swing high at this time. Make sense? Make sense? That's just what I found in my back testing, in my data collecting, all right, and walking it forward as well. That's what I found best within that time. 950 macro kicking off now, right? If this was to occur here now, I would 100% be engaging in it and having no type of feelings about it. I'm watching this continuation sell. I won't be engaging in it. Like I said, I'm collecting data on those. All right. I'm still wary of them just because I'm selling in a discount. Time and price, baby. Time and price. Hell yeah. So now, this is the high that needs to go for me to be interested in a retracement. For me, I've run into a query now. Since I'm not regarding this as a swing high, well, as a potential retracement trade that I would take, Does that then still mean this is a valid retracement setup? Then I can get into the continuation sell. That is something I would need to collect data on. All right, so let's put that down. 30s mitigation. Like, would I regard that as a retracement setup or nah, right? That's the question at hand. I'm watching this continuation sell, bearing in mind that's with counting this as a retracement setup. Anyway, dealing range needs to be adjusted because we just ran that 15-minute low. So dealing range right there. I'm not confident on it, so I'm not pulling the trigger. Nothing wrong with that. I want to collect more data on those. But we're gonna watch it regardless. We can delete this. Yeah, I did come inside the range, dealing range, lower quadrant. Nothing wrong with tape reading it. Building more confidence, so we can later on pull the trigger on those setups. We already collected data on it yesterday. I've collected a few data before yesterday, so I just need a few more to finally, you know, let my guard down with those setups. Entry would have been here at the market structure shift. All right, so you definitely would be in that trade right now. Draw on liquidity is below price. We have Asia's sell side. The magnet is the trick, guys. It's a magic magnet. I'm just messing, by the way. If you don't get my humor yet. Hey, I lost my writing. Yeah. Still gives us one contract to get into this trade here. Okay, I don't know if it's the size or if the color scheme, but the charts definitely look much better than they did before. We'll go with a bit of both. A bit of both. Alright, this candle closes and confirms this swing high. It will be a swing high. If it confirms a swing high up here, I will be interested in an entry there, because the swing high is back above that external liquidity dealing range low. It's a valid setup. It meets the criteria. I don't care about it being a small range. I can't bring my feelings into this. I've done it before and missed good opportunities. Hey, as long as my criteria are met, I'm pulling the trigger and the outcome is out of my hands. That's how you have to be in this. Logical, robotic, and no feelings whatsoever. Don't be so hung up on the outcome either, because that's out of your control. Still watching this continuation sell here. All right, price is respecting that market structure shift heavy. Yes, ma'am. Better than 2.0 for sure. One thing that 2.0 was missing was step 1. It was missing the direction. Alright, getting ready. Because if it confirms it, I will be interested. It's going to be hard because it's right on that midnight opening price. But I think we'll see the candle go above it. We should be able to see the candle go above it. 15-minute candle closure. Let's be aware of that. Yep, give it to me. I'm pulling the trigger. I don't like how it just, when it does that, you know. Anyway, doesn't matter what I like and don't like. Let's just keep it going. Buying, so I want to sell. $41.50, so $40.50. Let me get this correct. 64. Three contracts it lets me, so 1.5, and 2. 2, we're looking at I want 875. I'm watching it. I'm watching this price action right now, and the respect for this market structure shift is crazy. It's out of my hands though. It's out of my hands. Just gotta let it do what it do. I accept the risk. Alright. Way before I even enter the market, I know what my risk is and what I'm willing to lose. I'm willing to lose that on this trade. I accepted it. Still watching this continuation sell, all right, to see how it gets to Asia sell side. About to smash us out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Losses are the only thing promises I actually don't want to see. I don't want to see on here on this chart. Nothing we can do here in this trade. Nothing at all. Nothing but watch the candlesticks, see if we're seeing the signatures that I want to see. Right now, I'm not seeing the signatures I want to see. I want to see a closure above this market structure shift. I want to see price disrespect this inefficiency in here. So let's see if it does that. If it doesn't, I'm not at the point where I can close my trades prematurely, all right? Because I've done that before and it messes with my psyche. When I close prematurely and it ends up going in my direction, I don't like that feeling. So I've learned from my past experience to accept, hey, if it takes me out, it takes me out. Even if I'm not seeing the signatures I want to see, I'm still not going to close the trade prematurely. That's just me, though. We're buying below midnight open. I like that. $9.50 macro will be done in about 4 minutes. Ain't even coming back up to it, you know. Yeah, we're about to get smashed out of the. That is fair. Take those. Losses are the only thing promised to us. We're smashing that 15-minute low. Dealing range getting adjusted. There was mad respect for that though. Mad respect. Oh. Okay, but why is it not letting me move my thing? I don't care about you. If it gives me another opportunity, I will take it in this macro. Losses are the only thing promised to me, alright? Feel no type of way about it. 2 minutes. If it confirms, I will engage. If it doesn't, we'll wait till 10:30. Also don't mind this swing high either. Yay. And don't do it. -1 on that continuation sell. Cool. Another one for the books. More data being collected. So that means we would have to accept this as a retracement setup. Even though it's not one that we would engage in, we would have to accept it as a retracement setup to then catch the the continuation. Cool. So that's one data collected for it, right? I need more data to then finally be like, okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. I would be interested here again if it gives it to me. Oh, it has to be on this candle though. It has to be on this candle. Cannot be the next candle. It has to be completed on the current candle at hand, which has 20 seconds. Ten seconds. If it doesn't do it, it doesn't do it. Nothing for me to do. We'll just watch how price gravitates towards our drawn liquidity. Oh, there we go. Doesn't do it, doesn't do it. Nothing. We are watching this continuation sell. See how price gravitates towards our drawn liquidity. Asia sell side, below price. Do I feel some type of way not being in this setup? No, I do not. Like I explained, my confidence level on these setup, because it's, let's go back to where dealing range was at. Right here. Also, to add to this as well, I still wouldn't, I don't know if I would have classified this as a retracement setup because I'm not engaging in it, but obviously it's still a retracement setup. But a lot of data being collected today. So let's see. Would have given you -1 already. All right, I don't know how many contracts it would have allowed me in the first place. So let's see. Just the one contract, so you'd be out of this trade already. Just the one contract. Just the one contract. All right. Let's talk about the trade. Let's talk about the trade that we were in. This kind of price action, I'm not feeling it. It meets the criteria, but the price action here, I'm not really feeling it. There's not much of really a displacement. It just, it takes it, but like, look where it closes. All the way back down here. Price was just struggling really hard at that market structure shift here for the continuation sells. With experience, right, with more experience, I'll be able to pick and choose. But for now, I have a criteria. The criteria was met, I executed. muddy, you're gonna get this kind of price action, especially when we have FOMC in a PM session. PM session should be much cleaner. Join me over there on DJ. Join me over there on DJ. Actually, it's private. You can't join me over there on DJ. It's private. You gotta join me privately. But either way, I'll post it on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube when it gets posted. If you don't want to join me, that's fine too. It's just a vibe, really and truly. I go there for the vibes, you know. Here's more serious, over there is more chilled. More chilled with questions, answers. Work on your 3-step process. Help you fine tune your model, your processes. I would recommend. But that's just me. Anyway, let's get to a question. Let's do a question. Since we go about 15 minutes until 10:30. Let's do a question. How long does it take to become profitable? Oof. Woo-wee. How long does it take to become profitable? Is actually okay. How long does it take to become profitable? As long as you take, right? It takes as long as it take. For me, I've been in this for what? Took it seriously 2020, like Q3 of 2020. So it's been about what, going on to 6 years. Yeah, it's going on to 6 years. Would I say I'm profitable? I wouldn't say I'm profitable yet, actually, still. I feel like I just about found my footing in trading and found my consistency, all right, in terms of what I'm looking for, when I'm looking for it, and why I'm looking for it. So I'm still working on that profitability stage. But ideally, if I had what I have now, all right, to get to profitability, probably would have been about 6 months going on to a year. And that's because, right, you want to back test your model, your processes, all right, and your procedures and protocols. You want to back test it in old price action, right? Get enough data to be like, okay, yeah, I can trust this working. Then you want to walk it forward, tape read it, right? For, I would say, at least collect 3 months of data. Then you want to walk it forward another 3 months of just watching price action, not even engaging in the price action. You're just watching it. Hey, I see my setup here. This is where I would have entered. This is where my stop would have been. This is where I would have actually put my take profit at. Or I would have, if you would have partial, this is where I would partial, this is where I partial. So you walk that forward for 3 months, right? Build more confidence in that. And then what you want to do is go into a demo trading, right? You want to demo trade it for another 3 months. This is why I said 6 months to a year. You want to demo trade it for another 6 months. This time you're actually entering the market, so you get a feel of how you're going to feel with your risk, how you're going to, you know, if you're even going to be able to partial in time and take money out and all of that. You have to get accustomed to actually entering the market and being in the market, getting an actual feeling of, hey, I took 3 losses, I lost 1,500. How do I feel about that? Is this risk okay for me? Is this something I can eat and, you know, I can take and still sleep at night and not have to worry about, oh, I lost 1,500 in the morning session, oh my god, and then your whole day is ruined, right? Is that something you can take? You have to feel it. You have to be in the market, like I said yesterday. And then, right, I would do that for as long as it takes until it becomes like your regular job, right? It's like you show up, you know what you're doing, you do it, no emotions, no attachments, and you get on with your life, right? You don't just constantly think about it. Once the session is done, you're not constantly like, oh shit, you know, what happened, what did I do, I made money. You're not, even if when you make money, right, you're not happy, you're not excited, you're not elated, you're just normal, just another day on the job, right? Either way, winning or losing, When you get to that stage, when you get to that point when it's boring, when there's no emotions attached, when you know what you're looking for, what you're doing, you understand that you're going to take losses. Losses are the only thing promised to you, and you don't feel no type of way about taking a loss. I just noticed something on here. Let me take it off. That's when I would say you'll be ready for live trading. So how long does it take to be profitable? As long as it takes you to fight your demons and your battles, your internal battles, as long as it takes for you to realize what you're doing wrong in these markets and how you can fix it and actually fixing it, as long as you can leave outside influences, right, external influences as external influences and not bring them in here, right, as long as you cannot use the market as as your drug, right, to escape the real world, because that's not what it is. You cannot you cannot, the market will not bring you happiness. Just because you're winning here, it's not going to take away from everything else that's going on outside of you, right? So it's really about you and how long it takes you to overcome you. Really and truly, that's how long it takes. And also you need a process, you need a plan, you need a system behind you. Without that, it's going to take you even much longer. I believe that's what took me the longest. That's what I've been curating in the past 6 years, right? If I had what I have now, I would definitely would be where I want to be, or on the way to where I want to be. But I didn't. It's a journey, it's a process. My goal here is to give people that process, that step-by-step process that I didn't have, so I can cut their learning curve from 6 years to 6 months to a year at least, right? Or at least even 2 years. Even if I can cut you down by three years of what I had to go through, all right, that's my goal here in this session. So short short answer to a long question. Well, what the hell, I'm not even making any sense. The short response would be it will take as long as you take to overcome yourself, right? And you have to have a system and a process behind you. For me, I'm still not profitable. I would say I'm still not at the profitable stage. So if I'm answering it for myself, it's taking me 6 years plus, all right, to get to consistency, but I'm still not at that profitability stage yet, all right. By the end of this year though, we'll answer that question again, and we'll see where I'm at by the end of this year. So that's the answer to that question. I don't know if that was satisfactory, but that's my answer. We got what, 8 minutes? We can do one more. Is trading gambling? Is trading gambling? It can be, right? If you don't know what you're doing, it can be gambling. If you don't have a process and a system behind you that you're following consistently, you don't have a daily process that you're following consistently, it can be gambling. Majority of people are gambling in this market. It works. Some people it works for them, some people it doesn't, right? But trading itself is not gambling. That's an easy answer right there. Trading is not gambling. It's perceived like gambling, right? But even with gambling, if you have the proper risk management, right? You have a process, you understand the market in which you're gambling in, you understand the market that you're gambling in, right? You have a model in terms of, hey, let's say sports betting. You have a model, hey, this team is playing this team, I know this, that, I know that, and the fourth. You know, you have to have a model, you have to have a process that makes you pick, hey, I'm expecting this team to win 2-1 in this game, right? You have to have a model, right? You have to have a process. You have to understand the market that you're in. So if you're sports gambling on, let's say, football, soccer, whatever, you have to understand the game. You have to understand the teams. You have to understand how they play, right? you have to know the market really and truly, right? So yeah, first you have to understand the market, you have to have a model, and you have to have a plan and process that you're following each and every day, all right, to avoid it being gambling, right? You have to have the proper risk management protocols in place as well, right? Because let's say I make a bet, I lose 20 bucks. My account is $100. 20 bucks, that's what? Quick math. Shit, that's what, 2%? Is that 2%? Am I accurate on that? 10% is $10. It was 20%. 20%. Come on, man. That's easy math right there. I like complicated math, all right? Math was my favorite subject in school, but I like the complicated math. Not mental math was never my strong suit, so don't judge me on that. But yeah, that's 20% of the account. Now, if you take more bets at 20% and you stay at 20%, it's only going to take you what 5 bets to lose your account, right? So then you have to say, okay, I lost $20, right? The next bet I take, maybe let's go in for 10. Let's risk $10, right? Let's not risk the same amount because then it reduces the probability of bets you can make, right? So all of this comes into play, right? To not make it gambling. If you don't have any of this in play, then you're gambling. So is trading gambling? Yes and no. Right? That's the proper answer. Yes and no. You can make it gambling if you're just showing up, looking at the market and seeing, oh, it's going down, so let me jump on board, let me go down with it. Oh, it's going up, oh, let me jump on board, let me go up. Oh, I took a loss of 2%, oh, let me keep going, let me go in more with 5% so I can make back the 2% and plus more of what I wanted to make. Oh, I've been there, trust me, we've all been there, we've all done that, and we know the outcome of it. Then it's gambling. When you're doing stuff like that, then you're gambling for sure. 100% gambling. But everything is a gamble, really and truly, right? Everything is a gamble, right? Going to a 9 to 5, that's a gamble. Is trading a gamble? If you want to say trading is a gamble, then your 9 to 5 is a gamble. I'm sorry to tell you, but your 9 to 5 isn't secured, right? Anything can happen at your 9 to 5. On your way to your 9 to 5 is a gamble. Life itself, when you live in life, I would say gamble and risk, right? Gamble equals risk. Everything involves risk. Risk is in everything. Even waking up, going to your job, that's a risk. There's a risk that you might not make it to your job. I'm not wishing that on you. There's a risk that you might go into an accident on the way to work, right? You might jump in the shower, slip and fall, right? While you're getting ready to go to work. You might get to work and they'll be like, oh, we don't need you, all right? We're making cuts and, you know, you no longer have that job. It's all a risk. It's just about risk to reward, right? Is it worth it, right? The reward here is enormous compared to the risk that you control, by the way. That's the only thing that the trader has control of, right? You control the risk in this industry, on this battlefield. So, hey, risk, reward, everything in life comes with a risk. It's just about how much are you willing to risk in regards to the reward and the outcome, the payout, right? I'm willing to risk being wrong in here, right? Having a risk management protocol, right? Risk management processes and procedures that I'm following, knowing what I'm risking, and I'm not risking too much of my account size for the potential reward of, hey, this is what this trade could potentially make me. But if I do lose, I lose this thing right here. But if I do win, I win this much right here. For me, it's an easy choice. It's an easy choice. Life is hard, but you gotta pick your hard, right? And your hard has to come with a big payout. If it ain't coming with a big payout, it's not worth the risk for me. And the payout here, whew, it's whatever you want it to be, really and truly. Like I keep saying, and I'm gonna keep saying, this is where the money game is played, all right? If you understand money in general, this is where money and mindset comes to play, right? If you understand money in general, you understand that the financial markets It's where they're moving the money, right? When it comes to money and mindset, there are two things that you need to know. You need to know the who behind money. The who behind money will translate to these candlesticks. All right, you need to know that. It makes sense. Trust me. You'll better understand the market if you know the who behind money. And another thing you need to know about money is the three hows. How do you get it? How do you keep it? And how do you get it to multiply? And for me, the risk here, so worth the reward. So worth it. Price is kind of consolidating here. Like I said, if we don't get good price action, I know why, because we have FOMC in the PM session, okay? So I'm not really anticipating much from this market. Which probably I should put a procedure in place for that. Just pretty much wait till PM session if we have FOMC. I think I do have a procedure and protocol in place for that. So where is my procedure and protocols? Where do I have that? Where do I have that? Where can I access it easily? Bear with me, because I think I do have a procedure in place for that. And this is one thing too, I need to have my procedures and protocols in front of me. I've been working on it. I need to have it in front of me so I'm aware of it each and every session. There's a few procedures and protocols, really and truly. Hold on, where do I find that? Hold on, where can I quickly get access to that? There it is. If there's FOMC news in the PM session, then expect choppy price action in the AM session. Trade PM session for cleaner setups. See, because I'm not consistently having this in front of me, certain things I do miss. But now that we're back to live trading, I really need to get back on that and trade with the probability on my side, right? So I broke a procedure and protocol today, right? So if I had followed it, I would have avoided the loss here, right? And it does say failure to adhere to these procedures and protocols will result in unnecessary loss. And that's prime example right here. 10:30, we're back. Enough chit-chatting. Serious now. We've seen how price gravitate towards our drawn liquidity. This continuation sell already gave us -1. We're seeing if it gets to -1.5. And dealing range will be getting adjusted because we're smashing that 15-minute low right there. Hey, actually, I would be interested here if it gives me a setup. Back on the hunt. We back on the hunt. I need to change the color of these because now the whole color scheme is different. This high here takes a low. It takes this low, takes this low, and takes this low. So for a 30 trade, I would be interested in that. We're also watching to see what more this trade offers us here. See if it takes us to our drawn liquidity. Hey, the respect for this was crazy, my guy. Kind of also want to wait till 10:50 macro, just because of it being FOMC this morning. You know, my precision protocols actually do say sit still and wait for PM session, so let's do that. Let's sit still and wait for PM session, because I already ignored it today and took a loss, right? Took an unnecessary loss. So let's follow procedures and protocols, because that's what we're here to do. So we'll just watch these. If they offer us, we'll just watch these and feel no type of way about it. The magical magnet doing its job. It's like pulling that price, pulling me in, pulling me in. How's the stream doing? Good? Good? We're straight? We're good here? No issues? Cool, cool, cool. This swing high takes these two lows here. I'm not feeling this high here. But it's not about my feels. It's not about my feels. Yeah, this price action is ugly. But it's ugly, but it's going in this direction. All right, we'll be interested here. So we're watching this. I'm gonna read it. Will probably be tagging me in there. 4 contracts. Let's see how it does. central am I? Very central. In the middle. Okay. This is some not so nice price action. Very, very congested. Which is what the procedure and protocol said. Expect choppy price action. I want to see a bit more before I put the fib. See where my targets would have been for contracts. Still waiting to see if this continuation sell gives us negative 1.5. Yeah, I gotta get my procedures. Ciao. Thank you for tuning in. Another loss about to be avoided here. Sticking to our procedures and protocols. We already took a loss, not sticking to it. That's fine. That's fine. Live and we learn. That just lit some fire under my ass to get that procedures and protocols in front of me, so I'm aware of it. Still would be in there. Alright, we haven't been taken out yet. Yep, there you go. Would have been smashed out of that. Another loss. Well, not another loss, because I didn't avoid the first one. A loss avoided. Alright, sticking to our procedures and protocols. And we're smashing this current 15-minute low, so we're just in dealer range. And this now becomes the high that needs to go. Slowly itching towards our drawn liquidity Asia sell side. And towards negative 1.5, negative 1.5, getting smashed on that retracement setup. Sorry, continuation sell setup. So that means we would have to accept this as a retracement setup, even though it's not one that we would engage in. It's still a retracement setup. Cool. All right, data banked, and it was above, close to midnight opening price. Fair enough. Data banked. Drawn liquidity getting smashed. Bing bang biggity bosh. One thing that has been consistent this week is the draws on liquidity. Even though I've been taking losses, I think Monday we taped Trading the day of the holiday. We caught a banger there. Yesterday we took 2 losses. Fair enough, nothing wrong with that. Today we took an unnecessary loss. That's on me, that's on the trader, that's on the analyst for not adhering to our procedures and protocols. Alright, I didn't even remember that procedure and protocol, right? Because it was not in front of me. So that's these are mistakes that you're gonna make, right? So there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Just don't be repeating mistake, right? We need some new mistakes. This trade was what? I forgot how many contracts it allowed us to get in there. It was 1, yeah, I believe it was just the 1. So we would have been done at negative 1 anyway. Alright, we're just seeing what else it would have offered us. It would have given us negative 1.5. This is still the high that needs to go for me to be interested in a retracement set up to tape read. As our draw on liquidity has been hit. Let's adjust it in here. I'm becoming a pro, man, on that drawn liquidity right there. Professional. And you know, it's all because of the magic magnet. It's all because of the magic magnet. No Magic Mike. It's a magic magnet out here in these streets doing the damn thing. I like my thing a bit elongated. This is the high. Needs to go for me to be interested in a retracement setup here. that we will be tape reading. Okay, we will be tape reading it. Below Asia, the next draw on liquidity for me would be consequent encroachment of the open range gap. And in terms of lows, well, actually we do have previous daily high below price as well, so that could be a potential draw if price, okay, obviously wants to keep going lower. That's what I'll be anticipating, but for now I'm happy and satisfied with my draw on liquidity as Asia low getting smashed. Happy and satisfied with it. Now is about how I could have jumped. Obviously this would have been my stop to jump on board on that mad respect for that market structure shift right here. The bodies were just literally, it was just the wicks do the damages, the bodies tell the story. The bodies were just literally staying below that market structure shift, wasn't even finding it. Like even when it came above the market structure shift into this inefficiency here, it was a wick, and look where that body closed, way below that market structure shift. So price action here was telling me, yeah, I want to go lower. I'm going to your drawn liquidity below price. I'm going to that magic magnet right now. So this is your time to get on board. It gave you multiple opportunities to get on board here. Like when I was in this trade and I saw it, this one even failed to even come close to it, I knew my trade was cooked then. That's when I knew my trade was all the way cooked. But like I said, I'm not at the point where I can close the trade, because if I was to close the trade and then it turned around and went in my direction, I've done that before and that's messed with my psyche. I have scar tissues from doing that, so I'm just trying to avoid, you know, doing the same things that messes me up psychologically. All right, because this game is 90% mental and 10% everything else, processes, procedures, and protocols. So I want the most probability in my favor. All right, so I can control my psyche and be sane while I'm in, you know, in these charts here, because you can lose yourself in these markets 100%. Seeing how price gravitates towards consequent encroachment of the opening range gap, that's the next draw on liquidity. Maybe I should put a check mark when that liquidity gets like it was the liquidity and it got smashed. Now this is the next draw on liquidity. And we're heading to -2 on that continuation sell. Getting -2, getting smashed there. All right, beautiful stuff, beautiful data collected today. All right, that will go down in the books. So we will count those as retracement setups. Obviously they're not retracement setups that we would engage in, but in terms of going towards it being a retracement setup, it is a retracement setup. Cool. So then it validated this retracement setup, even though I wouldn't engage in it, validated this continuation sell. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how you get 1% better each and every day. I'm gonna have to change this yellow because now it's becoming invisible. I'm gonna have to change this yellow because now it's becoming invisible. Hold on. Let's pay attention to. I'll do it in a bit. We're still in the macro time, so let's pay attention to price action. Same high, same high. Let's see if Fibs lines up with any. Oh, all right, negative 5.5. Close proximity to that consequent encroachment of the open range gap there. So high probability draw. Let's see how price gets there. It is a session pro trend trade, but a weekly counter trend trade. And that's why this can be really as complicated and as simple as you want it to be, right? For what we're doing here, we don't really need to know we don't really need a weekly bias. It's just good to know where the weekly program is, all right? So you're aware of where potentially, you know, your higher probability trades will be. But it's not necessary really for here, right? Because we go based on the session bias, which determines, you know, what we're doing in that session. Because we're here for the session, so I really just want to focus on the session. Like I'm leaning towards, like, since we started this here, I'm leaning towards just paying attention to what I need to pay attention to, and leaving everything else behind. I mean, I'll take a look at them, but in terms of making decisions, just what I need in front of me. -3 on that trade, getting smashed, bagged, and tagged, baby. You're coming home with me. I haven't said that in a while. You're coming home with me, baby. I'm showing a little bit of excitement because I'm not really in the trade. It's a trade I'm tape reading. All right, but obviously if I was in a trade, regardless of a winner or a loser, like, my feelings, my emotions are really not. I'm just trying to entertain myself while I'm here, really and truly. So don't take this as me being emotional towards the trade, because I'm not even in the trade, so and have no attachment to it. I'm just happy with what I'm seeing, all right, and the data that I'm collecting. Because yesterday and today is the same data collected, so the more data I collect, the closer I get to the confidence in being able to partake in these types of moves. Even though my precision protocol states that technically I won't even be taking a trade today. So that's that. It's still fun to watch. Still fun to watch. I think this is still the high that needs to go here for me to be interested in a retracement setup. Okay, this is the high that's above the external liquidity here. This high is below the external liquidity. I won't be interested. All right, retracement setups, I'm only looking to engage using external liquidity, which is dealing range high and low. So now my trade would be at break even. Okay, a -3, I move to break even. -1, I reduce risk. Depending if I'm using bodies and if it makes sense to go to the bodies, I'll go to the bodies. If not, is either -1's either bodies or 0.75 if I'm on the wick. -2, we go to 50% of the range. Oh, yesterday I think I made an error, by the way, when I said is the range that takes that market structure shift that I use in terms of my partialing, is actually the range of the market, the one with the market structure. Is this range. This is the range that takes the market structure shift. I use the range of the market structure shift, right? The range that has the market structure shift. Does that make sense? This is why I said one of my weaknesses is my explanation. I need to work on that. -2, all right, would be at 50% of the range with the market structure shift. And -3, all right, we go to break even. So this will be a risk-free trade after how many partials? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 partials. All right, risk-free trade. We love those. We love those. Well, at least we'll get to when we do a trade performance review. But I'm happy that I got something out of today, all right, that I didn't even know I needed to get out, and that was this setup right here. Considering it as a retracement, even though it's not a retracement that I would personally engage, it's still obviously a retracement setup. So then it validated the continuation sell here. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. 1% better each and every day. That's the goal. That's the aim. And that's what we're here to do each and every day. Let's see if it will even give me a contract if it comes all the way up here. Yep, one contract. We'll take it. Still in the macros, all right. So we have time on our side. We're just waiting for the market structure shift to confirm. We have time, we have swing, we have displacement. Waiting for the market structure shift back above the external liquidity. Excuse me. I was most definitely would be interested here. So let's see if it gives us -1, because that's how many contracts it allowed us to get into this trade with. So -1 is up here, so let's see. Yeah, chart's definitely cleaner. I wanted to make the blue work, you know, because that's my theme, but it ain't working. It ain't working. That's not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, and I can see it clearly here. Yeah, I don't mind the blue. Don't mind the blue actually. Don't mind the blue. I don't mind the blue. We'll be getting out of here in a bit. Solid morning, solid morning. Take it for what it is. Alright, let's do a trade performance review. What I did well today, right, is that I showed up. I got 1% better for sure, 100%. Gained experience, learned lessons that I'll take into my next trading day, next trading session. Showed up. I wouldn't say I stuck to my procedures and protocols because I didn't, but that would be in the next question. Showed up, alright, I collected data and actually confirmed something that wasn't even a factor in my mind, alright, so I'm happy about that, right? Where did I fall short today? I think I fell short not adhering to my procedures and protocols, not remembering, or paying attention to my procedure and protocols. It stated that on days where we have FOMC in a PM session, AM session tends to be choppy, so just don't trade the AM session and trade the PM. Well, if you're gonna trade a different separate account, right, whatever, or tape read it and then show up for PM session for a cleaner price action. So I'll say I fell short in not adhering to my procedures and protocols today, and not even being aware of that procedure and protocol. Also, wake up time and morning routine was somewhere I fell short today. How I can improve for next trading session is be aware of my procedures and protocols. Let's make sure we have that in front of us, all right, or we at least going over it before our trading session, so we know our procedures and protocols going into the session, and we're not, making mistakes this far down the line in procedures and protocols that we've had in place for a while now. All right, we should be aware of that. I haven't actually been following it because I've actually been tape reading, demo trading for a while, so still I need to get back into the habit of, hey, this is practice how I'm going to play, right? I'm already playing now, so I need to practice how I'm going to play. So yeah, let's be aware of that going forward. Let's get that in front of us, or if not in front of us ASAP, let's at least go over it before our session begins, so we're aware. Keep showing up, right? Keep seeking excellence in everything that I do. Don't let short-term adversity, losses, series of losses, which I'm actually going through now, a series of losses. I took 2 losses yesterday and a loss today. That's 3 losses. That's a series of losses. Don't let series of losses deter you, distract you from what you got going on. But we got a solid foundation in terms of our processes, procedures and protocols, our model, understanding of the market. So now it's just about minor refinements, and the trader and the analyst doing what she needs to do, all right, to adhere to the procedure and protocols, because failure to adhere to them leads to unnecessary losses, and that's exactly what we took today, an unnecessary loss. All right, I'll let myself off today, but this is something that cannot repeat. Okay, cut it out. So let's go about today. Let's go about the trades this morning, and then we can get out of here. Yeah, I'm good with the blue. I think the blue works too. Yeah, blue works. It's because it was still in the gray background, so it didn't work. But on the white, it works. All right, 9:30 kickoff. All right, we took dealing range sell side, so we had confirmed session buyers condition as sells. All right, so we were in a sell program going into the session. All right, we did get this retracement set up that we personally would not have engaged. I personally would not have engaged in it. All right, because at the 30s, I want to see a break of entry, and this high doesn't take a low. This high, however, does take a low, so this is the high that I was interested in getting the entry of. I can delete this. Anyway, we got a confirmed retracement set up, which gave us a continuation sell that we're still collecting data on based on us selling in a discount. All right, so I'm still wary on selling in discounts. I know that it's possible. Obviously, sometimes price has somewhere to go, and it's not going to retrace high enough to give me the opportunity to jump on board. All right, sometimes it's going to happen right at that external liquidity. So that's what we're collecting data on, and I was aware of it. I noticed this. I still wasn't sure if this would have been a valid trade for me to get in, because I wasn't sure if I would consider this, just because I wasn't getting in it a retracement setup, but it's still a retracement setup, all right, which validated this continuation sell. And we did see this retracement, another retracement set up here, but I should have been aware. So right, I know what I know now. Obviously I would have been in this sell, so I wouldn't really be looking at this retracement setup, but it's fine, nothing wrong with it. It met the criteria. All right, with time and experience, I would understand not to take trades like this. Even the candlesticks, they just don't even look appealing, right, for me to be entering a trade like this. But that's data collected for moving forward for setups that look like this. Yeah, right, don't take those. That's fair. A lot of data collected today, so I won't take anything away from today at all. And the continuation sell obviously gave us -3. Trade would be not break even. It allowed us 1 contract, so we would have been out at -1 over here. I don't know if it would have took me out here, 1 above maybe potentially, but if not, definitely somewhere in here would have took me out. Why do I keep moving this thing here? because there's a -2. I need to change the coloring. And then we go, oh my goodness. And then 1050 macro, all right, we witnessed a continuation, sorry, a retracement setup, all right, external liquidity, swing, displacement, market structure shift back above that external liquidity. All right, this is what we're watching going into the launch session. If it's worth mentioning tomorrow morning, we'll mention it. If not, we'll see how it goes in the PM session when we do DJ. All right, and if it's worth mentioning, like I said, tomorrow morning we'll talk about it. But if not, you have the charts, you go look at it. You look at how it plays out. But it allowed us one contract, so we'll be looking to close this trade at -1. So let's see if it gives it to us and what else it offers us. So that was our day today. All right, we did get a retracement set up here, but obviously by following our procedures and protocols, all right, we avoided another loss. All right, we took a first unnecessary loss, which is fair, and then by following our procedures and protocols, okay, we avoided another loss that we would have probably taken if we go into that trade there. So one key takeaway from today is failure to adhere to your procedures and protocols will lead to unnecessary losses. So make sure you're aware of your procedures and protocols and you're reviewing them on a daily basis, and they're in front of you. If they're not in front of you, review them on a daily basis. Even if they're not in front of you, review it on a daily basis right before our session starts, so we're aware of our procedures and protocols. All right, so that will bring our session to an end here for this morning. Solid morning. All right, solid morning. Very happy and pleased with my performance. I'm not happy and pleased that I didn't adhere to my procedures and protocols, but in terms of the data that we got back today, I'm very happy and pleased with that, because I even, like I said here, noticed something that I wasn't even paying attention to, that it wasn't even a thought in my brain, in my membrane. But today we acknowledged something and we learned, and something that we'll take forward. Accepting these as retracement setup, even though we won't be engaging in them, this still gives us the go ahead to enter the retracement, the continuation. Sorry, it's only two types of trades: retracement and continuation. Yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'll try to correct them as much as I can. Before we wrap up though, I want to leave you guys with this. All right, there was a time, right, I'd finish a trading session and still feel lost. Even on days I made money, I didn't really know why it worked. And on losing days, I had no system to fall back on. That's the difference between guessing and having a real edge. And here's the truth: most traders only focus on entries, but consistency comes from the system behind. So if you've been watching and thinking this makes sense, but I don't have the full system yet, that's exactly why I created a 10% to 1% club. That's where we go deep into all three pillars: the full model, the risk management system, the mindset and money principles you need to join the 1%, and the exact processes to follow on a consistent daily basis. If you're serious about becoming consistent, that is your next step. I used to think the goal was to win more trades, but the real goal is to become a type of trader who can perform no matter the outcome, right? No matter if you're winning, no matter if you're losing, you can still perform, right? I've been taking losses, but either way, I'm still following my procedures and protocols. I'm still following my processes, and I'm not deviating from it. Yes, today we actually fell short in terms of not adhering to our procedures and protocols because we wasn't really aware of them. All right. That's a mistake that I have, but either way, I have a system to fall back on, right? I have a procedure and protocols in place. Yes, I'm gonna make mistake. I'm human. As long as I'm in this flesh, I'm gonna sin and I'm gonna make mistakes, but it's about learning from those mistakes. All right, because once you have a system, once you have a process that you're following, all right, the results will follow. That's all for today, folks. I'll see you in the next AM session, 9:15 kickoff tomorrow. As always, I'm the trader here, signing out. Good luck, good trading, happy hunting.